Thank you. Hi there, my name is Luke. Welcome back to PhotoBuy, and today was something a little interesting because we've been lucky enough to be part of the launch campaign for the new H&Y product called the REVORING. Let's get into it.
Before I carry on, let's talk about what this product is replacing, because it's simply replacing something that we've had for a very long time, step-up rings. And it's one of those products that you always need, and there hasn't been an alternative, so we've had to dive into our wallets or try to dig in our bags to try and find one. But now that problem has been solved thanks to the REVORING.
So what is the REVORING? Well, simply put, it is a more advanced step-up ring that enables you to only need one filter when you go out on a shoot, because the inside of the diaphragm adjusts, meaning you can have a variety of lenses that will all use the same ring, so you've only got one filter to worry about. So it's a really clever system. You'll see that there's a Kickstarter campaign, so if you're watching this video, you most likely came from the Kickstarter campaign, but there will be 3 sizes with an extra one being available if they reach their target, so I have those listed just here. But it really is incredible what they've been able to do, and it really is one of those products where when we first saw it, we were like, why hasn't this been done before? Let's get real for a second. I'm fully aware, and we at PhotoBuy are fully aware that not everyone's gonna have a H&Y 82mm, whichever one you need for your REVORING. So what we did is we actually went ahead, because of the time that we had with these, and we actually did some tests. So we actually had a range of different variable ND filters that we used to test the REVORING to see if we got any vignetting, and at what point did that mitigate itself so that that issue was no longer an issue. And to start off with, we were using the Polar Pro. So Peter McKinnon, if you're watching this, we've already tested it and it performed really well. In fact, most of the filters we tested, it was an issue at 16mm, which is what they are rated up to. But with like a 1mm adjustment with the Polar Pro, it was about 0.5 mm, and you didn't have any more vignetting. So for photographers, it's great news. For videographers, probably good news as well. But in most cases, when you're shooting video, in the sort of shots I was getting, you didn't really see any issues with video, especially if you're gonna letterbox it, then the vignetting wide open will not be an issue, which is fantastic. So it just goes to show you really can use any variable ND with the REVORING and have little to no problem.
The build quality of the REVORING is actually really impressive. It's completely made out of aluminium, there's no plastic parts whatsoever, so it really is a solid alternative to step-up rings without any compromise whatsoever.
Now let's just say that you don't own a variable ND and you don't see the reason to buy a REVORING in a different branded variable ND. Well, that's where H&Y have got that problem solved, and what they've done is they've introduced the VND CPL. So this isn't just a variable ND fit onto it, which we'll get into in just a moment, but this also has a circular polarizer, which is fantastic because it means you've got 2 different types of filters in one system. And again, just like the other REVORING, you can actually put it onto a 16mm, and with this one, you get no vignetting, which is fantastic. Now to the ND, this ND is ND3 to 1000. So this is going to cover a whole host of different situations, whether you're a videographer or you're a photographer. Your problem will pretty much be solved with just one of these, and which is fantastic because if you're changing lenses, you're on a very busy production, just having one of these in your bag is ready to go will be an absolute lifesaver. And the other great thing about this is with it being such a wide VND, you can be in the middle of the day with bright sun and you can still probably reach about a 10-second exposure depending on your f-stop. Now to the ND, there's a few things we have to go through. So they actually have it listed from min to max, but because of the power, they also have listed on it a W, and what the W stands for is wide. So when you're shooting 16mm, the widest you can go is also going to be how far you can go on the ND filter. So once you get to W, that's it for your wides. If you have a further focal length, you can go further. And the reason that W is there is what can happen is whether you have a very powerful ND, you get the crossing effect, which isn't ideal. It does ruin the photos and it's the last thing you want to see. So the idea is the W, it lets you know your limit, and there you go. The whole purpose of the H&Y REVORING VND CPL is to help you be in all kinds of situations and you have a filter that can do it all. This is a do-it-all type of filter, and even if you're down by the beach or you've got an annoying reflection you want to try and cut through, that's when the circular polarizer comes into it. And the way you control it is this little tab here. That will be your circular polarizer. You just hold that down and then you can move your ND, and there you go. And that's your system there.
And for those wondering, here is the pricing on the Kickstarter campaign. As you can see, very good value for money, and you are getting it a lot cheaper than it will be at retail. And if you're also interested in the circular polarizer and the VND, those are also available. But of course, if you want to get these as a package deal or a bundle, then do check out the Kickstarter, because there are different bundles throughout the campaign, so make sure you take a look.
And it's very easy to fit as well. In fact, let me just grab a tripod quickly. So what we'll do is we'll just use the REVORING here to show you how this works. So on here is what we have, a 67mm diameter. And this is when the REVORING comes into it, because as you can see, it can basically sit on the lens, which isn't ideal if you have a filter on front. So what you do is you just simply grab it like so, pinch it, place it over, grab it again, give it a little encouragement, and then twist it on until it's nice and tight. And of course, at the time you put your filter on first, but just for demonstration, we've kept the filter off. Now here's the impressive bit. This isn't just like a normal thread. This is on there, this ain't going anywhere. And then with a simple twist, off it comes. It's that simple, and just with that twist, you can move on to your next lens, your next camera, and there's no need to take the step-up ring, change it, put another one on, and put it back on. It's so much faster, streamlines the workflow, and super easy to do. Same goes with this one as well, and it just pops on like so, and there you have it. And it's really an incredible system because it's so easy to use, it saves you time, saves you money. And we're not just saying this because we've been part of the H&Y campaign. We really have been testing it, and we've been trying to find things where you get the issues and you get problems. The only thing we can really see is not everyone would want the circular polarizer on the front of the filter, but for someone who wants an all-round filter system without forking out money for multiple step rings, an ND filter, a circular polarizer, or preferably one that can do both at the same time, the circular polarizer by H&Y is the perfect all-round system. And we really have been very impressed. I currently have one filming with it right now. So it has the smaller model, the 46-62, and this is the image quality you're getting after filming on the X-T3 with a slight grade to it as well. But that's our overview of the H&Y system, the REVORING. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the Kickstarter if you haven't, which is just linked down below. And if you've been from the Kickstarter to check out our review, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, my name's Luke, this is PhotoBite, and we'll see you next time.